The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Darcy Borio with Sage Basecamp, and we're here to talk with you about how add-on solutions for Sage 100 can help you manage the challenges that you might be facing associated with remote work and increased physical distancing while you're trying to keep your teams and customers connected. We'll have 4 presenters today, and we're going to move pretty quickly to get it all done in 30 minutes. And I'll show you everyone's contact information at the end. And we'll also leave the meeting open for questions at the end if anyone wants to stay on for a few minutes after. So for starters, let's go ahead and talk about the situation that we're in today. These stats are going to show you that people are getting used to working from home, and also that businesses are increasingly looking to online sales, not only just as something to get them through the current times, but also as a long-term strategy, as they're going to continue to rely more on e-commerce sales when the economy is fully open again. Drilling down just a little bit deeper into this PwC study shows that the vast majority of office workers are going to want to keep working from home remotely or whatever, at least part of the time. So we're definitely not going to just expect everyone right back into the office. We're going to need to adapt to those that are going to want to continue to work from home. And the PwC also shows that employers are looking for ways to help remote employees be more productive. And one of the main ways they're doing that is through a better mobile experience for work applications and data. So that's what we're going to focus on today, of how these solutions can help solve that problem. We want to do quickly a little poll. Patricia, would you go ahead and launch the poll for us, please? All right, everybody's voting. Thank you for voting. All right, so let's go ahead and close the poll. We had 50% said yes, they're going to continue working remotely, and 50% are back in the office. Very interesting. All right, good to know. Thanks everyone for participating. So moving on, we're going to have 4 presenters today. SimCloud is going to show you how you can transact and interact with customers online when you can't do it in person. ScanForce is going to show you how to get visibility into your inventory and also minimize surface contact in the warehouse. APS is going to show you how to make it easy for your customers to give you money. And then DataSelf will show you how you can break down data silos and bring teams together with advanced analytics. And then we'll also talk about Sage Basecamp at the end as well and give you a preview of that. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Jack Evans with SimCloud.
Thanks, Darcy, and appreciate the intro there, and hope everybody's doing well too. I know that we all got a lot going on with business and life and personal stuff, so hope everyone's staying safe out there. So as Darcy alluded to, and Darcy, if you'll go ahead and populate those next 3 slides, it's perfect there. But again, as Darcy alluded to, even as the world reopens and goes back into the office, and I think we're going to see a lasting impact from the changes that we've all experienced the last couple months, whether that's employees needing remote access to Sage data, customers needing to move activities that have traditionally been done in person or via email or phone, moving those into an online environment. And so really the biggest thing for businesses to focus on, and especially as it relates to the SimCloud product, is ways for businesses to make sure they're A, securing their customer base, and B, securing and generating more future cash flows. So again, those are going to be very vital for these businesses that are either trying to recover or trying to maintain. And really for us, kind of, we put this into 3 buckets of how these businesses can make sure they're doing both of these things. So one is becoming the preferred source for product information, industry knowledge within your customer base. So on the B2B side specifically, and especially, there is a certain value placed on being that trusted vendor and trusted resource. And so making sure that you're giving product information, spec sheets, details, an exhaustive amount of information in that online environment is going to be very key to making sure that those customers come to you and not the competitor to get the information they need. Secondly, and it kind of goes in conjunction with that first item we hit up top there is making sure that you're providing accurate and customer specific information in this online environment. So whether that's a customer that needs to check on pricing, whether it's a customer that needs to check on an order status, again, providing that online environment that gives them account information is going to be vital to making sure that they stick with you and are continuing to do business at the same volume they've historically done it. And then the third bucket, this isn't necessarily new coming out of COVID-19. It's really the way the industry's been going for years, but making sure you're enabling anywhere, anytime, any device access to their account information. So online access to all of the things we've alluded to from that previous bucket, and making sure that you're making it easy and accessible for these customers. And Darcy, if you can go ahead and hit the next slide. So at SimCloud, how do we do that? And that's really, again, what I want to focus on is our SimCloud solution and how our B2B customer portals and B2B toolset allows customers to do the things that we alluded to there. So you're seeing kind of an overview of a check-in to our B2B customer portal. What we're able to do is link this off of an existing website. You can also build a new website with a link. But again, giving these B2B customers a customer-specific portal for them to log into to get product information, to get order information, to get status on orders, all the things that your customer service team has traditionally done by sitting in the office, or maybe your field reps are going and calling on these accounts. Again, making sure that you're providing this online tool set to manage account info, get products, place returns, place orders, all anywhere, anytime, any device is going to be vital for these businesses. Again, as they look to keep those customers and grow future revenue as well. Darcy, you can go ahead and hit the next slide, please. So one of the things that we mentioned was making sure that you're becoming kind of that preferred trusted vendor for product information. And so what you're seeing here on the screen is just kind of a scroll through of a product detail page within our customer portal. And what you're seeing is it's showing inventory levels, it's showing negotiated pricing, it's allowing for spec sheets to be added, descriptions, order history, all of the things that customers are needing access to. And again, maybe the turnaround time on some of that Q&A is slowed down as your workforce is going remote, or maybe the order volume slowed down because your customers aren't on site all day focused on business. But regardless, making sure you're providing tools that make you that trusted resource to go get product information from is going to be key to making sure that they come back to you to get the products. The other kind of side of this too, and I think you skipped over one there, but we're right here on the order history. And so another thing that we're doing to provide visibility into that account detail is showing that complete order history coming from Sage. So not just online orders, but the historical orders throughout the life of their relationship as a customer. We're gonna be able to tap into that data, bring that up into the forefront, allow them to drill down on individual line items. They can see order status. They can even reorder from a previous order. Again, quickly being able to get in, do business with you, again, the way that they've done it via phone, fax, and email, doing that in an online environment, getting that data into your Sage via our ERP integration, and removing the redundant steps all the way from Q&A on a previous order through getting another order placed. So again, another way that we are leveraging your existing Sage data and providing an avenue for those customers to interact with and digest that data without having to call in and tie up your reps or your limited staff. And then the final slide really speaks and kind of sums up the overall theme of what our product is designed to do. And also really where I see the industry going is that anywhere, anytime access. It's the Amazon idea for ordering and purchasing for customers, where whether it's in the middle of my workday and I'm sitting at my desk, or I'm sitting on the back porch at 6 o'clock at night and I just remembered that I need to get an order placed. Again, giving this anywhere, anytime access is going to make it easier to deal, with reduced workforce or at least remote workforce. And then B, it's going to make it easier for those customers to get orders in when they're not able to do that via phone or email or in person as frequently as they were when they were kind of in a full-time, professional role in an office setting focused on work all day long. So that's just a little bit of what we do at SimCloud. Again, I definitely advise everybody to go to the Sage Basecamp site, check out all of the assets that we have there. There's great information on kind of the full version of our product and what we can do across your business. But again, wanted to really hit on how we can make sure that we don't see a reduction in order volume or revenue as we come out of the COVID-19 virus.
All right, great. Thank you, Jack. Next up, we're going to have Steve Showalter with ScanForce. I'm going to give you the keyboard and mouse since you have a lot of slides. Here you go.
All right. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us here today. Again, I am Steve Showalter with ScanForce. Let's see if it's not there we go. Oh, it has all the animations. All right. We'll try it this way. So again, I am Steve Showalter with ScanForce. ScanForce does quite a few things. It keeps progressing here. But we primarily focus on inventory control through WMS systems, even on the manufacturing side, mobile sales, printing of barcodes. Today, we're going to focus on more of the distribution side and some of the aspects of our software that lends to this, as we have on the slide here: social distancing and distancing in general in a warehouse and in the work environment, and safe handling of inventory. All right, so there are three things that I want to hit on here. Well, Darcy, what's happening here?
No idea.
All right, three things we want to hit on here. The three are inventory, increasing efficiencies. That's one aspect that we're going to be able to speak to in this current environment. We actually have ScanForce customers that without ScanForce, they would have had an even tougher time. And what I mean by that is, in some environments, people are having difficulty getting employees to show up. Their fear of contracting COVID, so they're staying at home. And increasing efficiency through the use of barcode scanning and automating processes has really allowed them to not only stay open but also thrive during this time. The other part of this is limiting inventory touches. So you don't want many people or as few people touching inventory as possible in this day and age. And then also maintaining accurate data. So some of the information that Jack was talking about, some of the other vendors are going to speak here, you need to have accurate information, and all that relating to inventory ties into accurate scans, instant data validations, and having the true mobile devices here. All right, so one of the aspects of this relates to shipping, and the components we're going to hit on here will be directed picking, split picking, wave picking, and then pick, pack, ship. So what I have up here are screenshots. On the left, you're looking at a Sage screen here, and this is with the multi-bin install, where you can allocate bins or assign bins at the sales order side. This can be done automatically or manually, and the concept here is the directed of where to go back in the warehouse then. So on the right, you're seeing a screenshot of what the mobile device would look like if you're being directed where to go. It shows you the bin locations and the items, and it sorts it for you. So instead of having people wandering all over the warehouse, not sure where to go to get items, this allows you to concisely walk through the warehouse and pick your sales order based on bin locations. This does work with non-multi-bin. It just works with the standard bin locations in that instance. The next slide that we want to hit on here is our split picking. So ScanForce has the ability to allow you to split up a large order. And you'll see here I have the screen up. These are the split rules, if you will, that we can set. So there's split conditions, how you want that done, and then how you want that sorted. You can split orders by lines as I have here, and then you want to sort by the item. You can do it by bin locations, for example. The idea, once again, is to split a large order. In the effort to keep people separate, you can split orders by zones in a warehouse. You have certain people picking certain bins, again, so they're not colliding together. They're able to stay apart and also pick that large order efficiently. The wave picking, there's three screenshots up here because we give you two options on how you want to create waves. The overall concept is grouping multiple orders together, and the idea here, as it applies to today's world, would be I, once again, don't want to be in my warehouse unless I have to be. So I don't want to be out there 5 different times to pick 5 different orders. I want to group those orders together, walk my warehouse one time, and pick all those orders. On the left, you'll see there, back in Sage, you can determine these waves or these groupings, and we give you the ability to do so, as you can see there, by customer number, ship date, and so on. The other side of this would be is actually generating or creating that wave from the mobile device, and that's that middle screenshot there on the mobile device there. You can see there are 2 orders that were selected. You can do so by a lookup or scan the orders if you have them barcoded on a pick sheet. Again, it combines them together. So on the far right, you see there, it's the directed picking screen, but this also gives you order information because, once again, it's multiple orders grouped together, sorted. So now I'm picking 5 orders, as my example gives there, at one time without having to walk my warehouse 5 separate times. The last component of the shipping side of things is just a general pick, pack, and ship. So assigning certain people to do certain tasks. On the left side, it's that picking. I'm going to stage my order. In the middle there, you'll see there's a package field at the top. So on the mobile device, I'm able to indicate how my items are all packaged together so that you see on the far right there, you would actually have the person doing the shipping, that's shipping data entry back in Sage with the package maintenance up. You'll see that it's sorted based on what you would do on the scanner so that you can then complete your shipping with, for example, Starship. All right, so eliminating multiple touch points, what we help is evaluating processes, becoming more efficient with that, and leveraging the technology we have available as well, so that, again, multiple people aren't touching inventory at the same time. We expand not just with the shipping that I covered, but we have directed put away. So you know right where items need to go on the shelves. You're not setting them down, having somebody else come touch it a second time. You can place items directly on the shelf. You can actually get detailed replenishment and put away reports. That's a component of multi-bin, but it's a pretty powerful piece of that as well. The next one is on the receiving side as well. We have ScanForce CRM. If you're not familiar with that, it's container receipt management, and it also ties in with wave receiving. The container receipt management applies where if you have a large container coming from overseas, you may not actually get the items for several weeks, but you need to show them on your books. Well, at that point, when that container arrives, it could even be multiple POs, which is wave receiving. And what that would mean is you'd have to separate it out to make sure that by purchase order, did you get the right items? With our software, you go item by item, so you're only touching it one time as you unpack that container. In general, scanning barcodes, not writing things down, touching items and whatnot, and then having to key it back in. Barcode scanning and automation. Pick the pallet's another component. What that is, you're building a pallet at the time you pick it. So people then scan a pallet ID instead of touching all the items a second time. And we also have an extremely streamlined way to do one-step shipping. So really, you're just touching the item once and the whole order goes out. All right. Now, the last component of this is maintaining data integrity and visibility here. So you want to trust the data. I hit on that earlier, but it's obviously important. Eliminating that human element of touching items as few times as possible, but also then writing things down, passing it back in for data entry, automating those processes. And the last piece that I'm going to show you some screenshots here are dashboards, that visibility into that information. And what I'm showing you here is a dashboard of our order status. So this would be, where are my orders at? Are they ready to pick, being picked, ready to pack, or ship? That's customizable, and that's being updated real time based on what the handhelds are doing or scanners. Last screenshot here is the some KPIs that we have, key performance indicators. Who's doing what out in the warehouse? How many orders are people shipping? How many lines? What's the quantity they're shipping? You can get a real clear view into what's happening in your warehouse from an employee standpoint. And the last thing I want to touch on are just some upcoming releases that we're going to have. This looks like it's popping up out of order for some reason, but pallet tracking and license plating, the full support on the mobile devices will be released in August. Labor entry for the production management module. We have material issues and completions. The labor entry is going to be released in the next month as well. And then ScanForce is going to be releasing a make to order for manufacturing, and that'll be released coming out in Q4. All right, Darcy, hopefully I went quick enough so I didn't take too much of anyone else's time.
Very good. Thanks, Steve. Okay. Excuse me. Up next, we have Patricia with APS Payments.
Thank you, Darcy. Now let's dive into accepting payments for your business. We have come across merchants with many challenges, but these here are the most common. And what we're hearing right now due to COVID-19 is customers that can't pay us right now, they're working remote and cannot write checks. It is hurting their cash flow. They also don't have a way to accept credit card payments. They want to ensure the e-commerce solution selected can leverage the same payments provider that they use for their accounting platform, and they're looking for ways to cut expenses right now. Next slide, please. By integrating your payments, you can eliminate those challenges and acquire some additional benefits. Some of those benefits being reduced processing times, streamlined operations, increased data security, improved visibility and reporting, better cash flow and customer experience, savings on business-to-business transactions with level 3 data, and integrated online payments. Next slide, please. Now, what are omni-channel payments? When it comes to payments, the meaning of omni-channel is the ability to provide all methods or channels of collecting payments in the ways in which customers prefer to pay. Omni-channel solutions have information flow seamlessly between all channels and seamlessly amongst any ERP, e-commerce, point-of-sale system, or AR solution the business uses. Now, why omni-channel? 73% of customers use multiple channels during their shopping journey, and customers who use 4 or more channels spend 9% more in the store on average when compared to those who use just one channel. 78% of those retailers do admit that there is no one brand experience across their channels. Next slide, please. Now that we established the different channels that are available to accept payments, we want to dive into your rates, beginning with fee structures. It helps to visualize these fee structures as 3 buckets: flat rate, tiered pricing, and interchange plus. And we'll begin with your flat rate. These rates are offered by merchant account aggregators, for example, your Square or PayPal, and they typically offer you a standard 2.9% and 30 cents per transaction. Followed by your tiered pricing. This is where your processor bundles the interchange fees into tiers, usually non-qualified, bid qualified, and fully qualified. But how do they determine which transaction qualifies for which tier? Lastly is your interchange plus structure, which APS uses. And this is the most transparent fee structure, as you can also benefit from level 3 savings. Next slide, please. Now, I mentioned level 3, and you may wonder what that means. Level 3 was introduced in 2012 in order to help businesses drive down business-to-business and business-to-government transactional costs. In order to acquire these level 3 rates, Visa and MasterCard require the merchant to provide an additional amount of fields to qualify for those lower rates. And by providing that information to the card brands, they deem your transaction lower risk and you get the savings. Now, 1 in 5 American-based business-to-business companies process some or all of their transactions with level 3 data. The average small business-to-business company saves $18,000 per year on merchant account fees, but 80% of those companies still do not process level 3 data. Next slide, please. Here is an example of the required fields for level 3 processing, and as you can see, there are a few extra requirements as you go up levels. Level 3 data being the one to the farthest right, requiring the most fields. Now here's an example of a real merchant analysis that we provided to a client of ours. We were able to move them over from a tiered fee structure to interchange plus, and as a result, save them 33% of their current bill. Next slide, please. As well as the level 3 savings, we also have some additional benefits to processing with APS. Those key feature considerations being tokenized credit card data, daily automatic batch reporting, next day funding available, the level 3 processing for business-to-business transactions, EMV chip functionality. We are multi-currency capable, offer an integrated online payment portal, multiple payment options are available, as well as a secure 24/7 online reporting, and no installation, maintenance, or setup fees. And we invite you to take the challenge. We will save you money or we'll pay you $500. Just simply send us your 2 most recent statements to qualify.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Patricia. And last but not least, we have Johnny Girardi, and he is going to talk with us about DataSelf.
All right. And Darcy, can you give me the control so I'll do the whole thing from my computer?
I can. I'm going to make you the presenter.
All right.
There you go.
Thank you. That should be working now. Let me know if you can see the
All good.
screen. Perfect. Thank you, Darcy. So my name is Johnny Girardi. I'm with DataSelf, and I'm the data geek person among the presenters today. As a data geek, this whole COVID scenario has been interesting for me personally. You know, in this whole world of politics and COVID, it's so hard to know facts from fake news. I mean, it's amazingly frustrating to try to understand what we should do, you know, what numbers to trust, what leaders to rely on. It's been a mess out there. Now, for businesses, the good news is you have numbers. You know, in your sales system, in your payroll, in your analytics, whatever it is, you have a lot of data in your systems that have the facts. So like in politics, in your company, your data tells a lot of things going on in your business. And before COVID, many clients would come to DataSelf because they would say, hey, we're having the seat of the pants kind of discussions about metrics and about numbers, and people come with opinions. And it was hard even before to talk about the real trends, the real threats and opportunities. So they will come to DataSelf. Now with COVID, we kind of tell now people have the Zoom of the pants problems. People are all remote, and discussing business trends and reports and analytics is even harder because people are remote. In the Sage environment, particularly, we're hearing a lot of people saying that the Sage intelligence and the Sage reporting, it's even harder to get data to people, distribute reports, and run with the information. So what I'm going to show today here is pretty much how the DataSelf analytics framework brings data together. Sage, payroll, anything that you have in your company, we can bring the data together. We can use natural language and artificial intelligence to allow people to do more advanced analytics. At the end of the day, what we do is users accessing DataSelf, as long as they have an internet connection, they can see their trends, they can see their reports and dashboards easily in mobile devices, in web browsers, in computers, in Mac, no matter what it is, it's easy to access reports and dashboards anytime and anywhere. And changing reports, building reports, finding reports, it's just like searching the internet. You ask a question, and the tool will pretty much find the answer to your question. And I'll show an example in a minute. And overall, we leverage powerful analytics platform and data warehousing. So that's what's behind the scenes is a framework to bring data together, make it easy. Let me show an example of how the system works. So right now I am in the DataSelf web portal connected to Sage 100. You want to see sales by salesperson by month in 2019. So just ask a question to the computer, to DataSelf, like search the internet, it will give me hits. In this case, there are two ways to look at this particular question. The second one is for sales equal 2019 in value. No, I want 2019, the invoice date. And I just select that hit. And like the internet, instead of getting an article, DataSelf will build a report from scratch. This report didn't exist, but it was created from scratch right now in 2019 by month, by salesperson. I see trend lines or line charts. And if I want to see instead a text table, like in Excel, I just select text table, and that's it. This is extremely powerful because it will allow users anytime, anywhere to see their own reports and dashboards and come up with answer to their questions. Or if they want to see year-over-year sales, so just search for that report. It's one already created. I click on it, and now I can have a much more users to see year-over-year sales, total this year, last year, trend analysis, by customer, by product, by territory, by anything. So pretty much DataSelf makes reports and dashboards something that is easy, that is available anytime, anywhere, and that users can no longer have Zoom of the pants. They can actually have discussions about business metrics using real data from your business to make more informed decisions. Right now, we're offering a 14-day free trial of DataSelf, and we have a version starting at $2.99 per month. So if you want to learn more or order, you can email sales@dataself.com or visit our website at dataself.com. Thank you very much, Darcy.
All right, beautiful. Let's see, I'm going to go back to, let me get back to sharing my screen here. Okay, I think we should be, I'm going to close out here, but we can stay on for a minute or two for questions. I did want to let you guys know that this webinar has been hosted by Sage Basecamp, which is a brand new community for Sage users. And so if you would go, please at your convenience, go check out the site, sagebasecamp.com. And we've got a virtual expo hall, virtual session catalog with a few dozen sessions out there you can view on demand from add-on solution providers such as who you've seen today, and also a digital literature rack where you can download brochures on various products. So please do check that out. And we've got the lines open for questions, but that ends our content for today. So we appreciate your time. And if you have questions, please do type them in the questions panel. All right, I see no questions. So thanks, everyone. And we look forward to talking with you in the future about how we can help.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.